and gentlemen, welcome to Inside X Roblox, and we are here with the guest today, Chris Cable. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, man. Glad to be here.
How are you doing?
I can't complain. I'm doing well. Just got out flight. Was in Connecticut for a little bit. Did a little business up there in Stanford. Got some good meetings done. So I'm 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 doing quite well.
That's good to get to know. I want to ask you a few questions. You are now the proud new owner of ATM Entertainment. What are your future plans to do?
Uh, wow. Yeah. I am now the new. Well, not new since there wasn't one before me. But I am the founder, the owner, and the chairman of the board here at Atmosphere Entertainment. And my plans for the future are quite expansive. I'm looking to extend into Roblox sports, and specifically wrestling. It's a community that's near and dear to my heart. I'm sure as it is you. And I'm really just looking forward to expanding what our community can be and showcasing us to a brand new audience. I think that this new NXT deal that we recently announced is going to help do that a lot more. And I want to go into other things too. I want to do movies, documentaries, TV shows, all sorts of things, expanding from sports, fashion, politics, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do. I want this to be the hub for it.
Well, you said Roblox sports, right? What
Yes,
about
sir.
you said pro wrestling, of course. What about UFC X Roblox or other places like maybe Netflix X Roblox?
That, that, that's very interesting to me that you say this. I've been looking to get into the MMA space for a while now. I haven't found a group that's caught my eye yet, and I haven't seen this UFC X Roblox yet. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for it and try to make some contacts there because that would be wonderful to get them on here. Hey, UFC X Roblox, if you're listening, hit your boy up. I definitely am willing to have talks with you guys.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Now,
We're not getting paid, but yeah,
they're not getting a check at all.
not even close. Well, another one of your projects, of course, TNA X Roblox. How do you see that turning out? Of course, with what I'm hearing, I don't know if this is true, but a partnership with WXR.
Okay, so TNA X Roblox is a rumor. I don't know why people keep saying that this is a thing that I'm making a fed. I genuinely don't know what people are talking about. At the time of the recording, will at the time of release rather, people will know that CFW has closed its doors temporarily for a year hiatus. Um, but let's say hypothetically this TNA thing was real and we were able to get a partnership with WXR, that would change the game. I believe if we can get something off the ground, grassroots, that helps develop young talent, promotes creativity, is a less strenuous workspace, it's more positive and reinforcing, allows people to be themselves, I think that would be amazing for the community overall and boost morale and truly help the next generation because I see guys like Troy Anderson and sometimes these other kids in the indies and it's like I want you to be happy. I don't want you to have to dread going to a place like WOR or WXR when Beast was owning it. And I feel like if we can create an environment that that helps you and makes you better overall and still allows you to have fun, I think that would be great.
I I like how you explained that, but I also like how you said that would be kind of big. In my opinion, that would be like a groundbreaking announcement.
Yeah,
I've been wrestling for five for April 20 something, I will officially be wrestling for 6 years.
Ah,
And I have never seen something like that. Like two successful feds come together with like a partnership like that.
yeah. I haven't really either because you've been watching for 6 years. I've been watching this thing for close to a decade now and participating in it um, just so frequently. Like my roots to this go back past a decade. Funny enough, I've just been able to be a fan for a decade. I'm just now getting back into it because back in the '90s, I used to work in ECW, and it's so interesting to see the contrast from then to now, and to see a possibility for someone not to be bought out, or not to be like the old territory days where we can actually do something special here and make it so that it's a partnership, not a merger. I think that would be incredible for the community if it were to happen.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk to you about a community that you had, or a fed that you had that was actually going on a good run, in my opinion. It had so much hype. The first show, I think I'm probably wrong about that, but it had a huge amount of hype.
Yeah.
Then plans got changed.
Mm.
I want to talk to you about E&A, but more
Uh,
specifically the E&A pop out.
mm. Okay. All right. Wow. I haven't thought about that in a while. Um. Okay. All right. I guess I'll start this. At the time, it would have been around maybe August 2024, and I was midway through developing what you call ENA, Elite Nonstop Action. And as I was doing this, I thought back to a couple months prior where I saw that Kendrick Lamar concert that he had in LA, and it was so powerful, and it emerged Bloods and emerged Crips and emerged Pyrus, and it and united the community, albeit it was all based off of a rap beef, but the love was there, and that had never really been seen before in in LA, to my recollection. And I thought about that, and I genuinely sat down for a day, and I was thinking, what could I do that for wrestling? Because I had just saw a tweet from OPRW or RWA. It was one of the two, where it was like another cheating scandal, and I thought back to that. I thought back to the racism that I've seen and witnessed. I thought about seeing so much, uh, so many predators and so much just horrendous. Wait, can I cuss on the show? I forgot to ask producers. I forgot to. I forgot to ask. I'm just gonna roll with it. But I've seen so many predators, and I've seen so much evil shit in general happening around the community. Even now, we still have um, people like Auxina, like Zion running around. It's very disappointing to see um, people still, clamoring to these people. Sometimes, some time ago, I would have been like, "Hey, I'm a fan," but now it's it's just not the case anymore. Now that I see who these people actually are. But getting back on track. So after I think about this, and I come up with the idea to have a Unity show. And I'm like, okay. At the time, I was really heavily invested into cleans, but I was sort of dipping my toe into animations. So at the time, I'm like, okay, cool. Doing the Unity show, I'm gonna have cleans come in, I'm gonna have RP come in, I'm gonna have animations come in. We're all we're gonna have a big show together. And I'm like, okay, cool. I make a graphic, and it had like over 6K impressions within the first, I'd say, 7 days. And then it kept growing, and then it kept growing, and then it kept growing. Now I think it stands at something like 29K, and it was really gaining some traction. I mean, guys like WOR were trying to get into this. Um, there was just so much mainstream attention, and I was really spiked. I was really psyched because when I pitched the idea to one of my cleans buddies at the time, they were like, "Ain't nobody gonna be doing this shit, bro. Like you're in over your head on this, and communities just don't mix well together." And I took that and I was like, I have to try, because when I came back into the business, it was like, okay, I want to leave it better than when I found it, and this was the best way that I could do that. So fast forward a little bit, we're in the planning stages now, where we're trying to build the venue. Uh, we're trying to, make sure we have all the talent scheduled out. We're trying to make sure we have a card, all of that type of stuff, and everything is going well. Uh, Fun fact: the event was originally scheduled to be in Overtime Elite Arena. We switched it to State Farm when they gave us the offer 2 days in advance, and we went down there. We set everything up so fast, and we still somehow made it look somewhat good. But we went down there. We set things up extremely fast, and maybe about a couple weeks prior to us getting ready to do this event, because it had gone through a couple of postponements, because it was originally slated for January, actually December, and then we switched it to January, and then we switched to February, and those postponements happened mainly because I was dealing with some personal shit, and I kind of let it sink, and once we were back on track, I was ready by February, and February 1st, shit went flying off the rails. Um, because a couple weeks prior, I found out that ATG wasn't interested in doing the pop out anymore with our OPRW because they were in on it. And I was like, okay, cool. I understand. But we really could have used you. And then all of these other federations just start dropping like flies, and it's so insane to me, and I'm panicking. I'm hitting the panic mode button. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And we finally get a commitment from a couple of feds. Um, WOR was not one of them, which is a story for another day, and how they kind of, flaked the whole situation and kind of pretended that they were interested. And we we were finalizing the schedule. We were finalizing who we wanted in it, and around, I want to say, mid-January, maybe late December, um, we had locked in RWF and the original version of AXR, which is coming back now. We'll talk about that later, I'm assuming. Um, we had locked them in, and by February 1st, those were the only two that we knew that were really gonna be, really committed to this. And I was like, okay, cool, we're rolling with you. You're going to be the main people on this thing. We started promoting. We started doing all of that business, and I was still hoping in the back of my mind that the RP and not animations, the cleans and RP dudes, with the Fed said I had got to come in, because we had some heavy hitters like WCWE, and they were all set. They were going to join us. We had Elite at one point. I believe we had Velocity when it was around. There was so many names and so many just talent individuals that were just independently contracting and trying to be on the show, and none of them really finished it. None of them, came through. And then the card itself was just atrocious. While we had a couple of good matches on that show, including that main event where Swerve and Danielson and There was someone else in that matchup. I can't remember, but it was the AXR section. We were giving them an opportunity at the ENA World Championship. It was a good show. That Mercedes entrance. It was a good showing from some people, but that entire event just ended up being a fucking disaster because of the commitment levels that were shown during the planning process, which it's so much to even get into that I'm sure we don't have enough time, which is why I'm trying to compress all of this information in short form. And we had gone through all of that. The planning process went horrendously, and here we are now, where we're still dealing with the after effects of it. Over actually, yeah, 3 days ago, at the time of recording this, it would have been over a year ago, and it kind of stained my reputation to the point where it was like, we don't trust you anymore, and that kind of led to the demise of ENA and really halted my progress the CFW, which is why I'm another reason why I'm taking this hiatus. But it created a domino effect, and I'm more
Man,
disappointed. Yeah.
that um oh well, that actually like that got me for a moment. I was like, I feel I feel bad. The ENA pop out could actually be something, but I always said this myself. It would have been good, but the delays is the only
Right,
thing.
right. I agree. I agree that the delays definitely contributed to this, and overall just kind of messed things up. But it was fun. It was a fun event. Um, funny story. This is a quick one, so we can get to the next topic or whatever. About a couple of minutes before the show, we're all panicking and stuff, trying to make sure we get all these talents situated, and we're hoping out at the last second the cleans and our people will show up. They don't. And I'm in the hallway. I have a mic, and I'm getting ready to do this promo announcing that the people we promoted for the event won't be showing up. And Matt Cardona walks by. He's wearing, I swear to God, he's wearing a "fuck you" Cable shirt. And I'm like, dude, what's your problem? He's like, I gotta get the heat, brother. And I'm just dying. And that kind of lifted my spirit. So Matt, if you're out there watching this, thank you, brother. It was fun and no
Yeah.
harm.
Matt is like a wonderful person. But before we get off this topic, there's one more thing I gotta add.
Hmm.
Um, let's go behind the Tyler the Creator performance. What about yeah?
Oh man. That was one thing that I was like, okay. It was fun. It was fun to conceptualize and stuff because he had reached out, and I was so intrigued by this because I didn't know that he was into wrestling. And we brought him in. We had gotten everything situated for him. He was in the middle of the Chromacopia tour, rollout rather, and it was just fun. But he was jumping around like a man with his dick chopped off, so it kind of messed things up a little bit. But Tyler, we love you.
Oh man. Well, let's talk to you about something. I don't know if this is too personal to ask, but I want to talk about your experience at the old AXR. And
Uh,
I know I always saw you there, and I thought you got along with the people, but why did you leave?
um, well, I had you're right. I did get along with some of the people there, and some of them I helped I helped train some of them. Some of them we talked every day, and it was cool. Like a couple guys there, goofy even. Me and him were very tight. it was fun working with them, but around Revolution, I was like, this place is is kind of changing, and I gotta kind of dip for a little bit just so I can get my own personal stuff together and I can prepare myself because I was starting to lose time in my personal life, and I was like, okay, I need to gather myself and make sure I'm rejuvenated and fresh because I see what's about to happen. And they eventually did get much, much bigger, and props to them for it, but um, I was not a part of it, and I was ready to come back for a couple of months. I secured myself in a position where I'd come back for pay-per-views. That's why you did see me on Revolution. You didn't really see me on the Dynamites building up to it. Um, I got myself in a position where it was like, okay, I got to take a break. I'll come back. And I kind of went off for a little bit, tried to get myself situated, tried to secure E&A a little bit more, try to get my personal life intact. And I even made an appearance at Double or Nothing for them. Shortly after, my brother passed away. He actually didn't pass away; he was killed in action. Um, and I processed that. A few people knew. Mel knew. A couple others.
Oh,
And the day, that his funeral happened, I was
no. You don't gotta talk about it. You don't gotta talk about that.
no,
You
no,
don't
it's
have to.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. The day that his funeral happened, I was at the wake, and I checked my phone because I was like, okay, I want to see the messages from my friends, just so I could have a sense of normalcy. Because I was like, damn, I don't really want to fucking deal with this shit right now. And see a message from Harvey Specter. I still have it saved as like a screenshot. It was so funny. Like it was detailing that I was terminated. I was fired. Um, I went on a break to make sure I could get my mental health right. My brother passes away, which some of them were aware of. I think even Harvey was aware of it because I'm pretty sure I told Ordeal. I didn't tell him all the details, but I'm pretty sure I told him. And they fucking fired me. But there's more important shit to do anyway. And that Fed ended up a few months later being toast. So I'm not bad.
Wow. I'm sorry. Oh man. Well, is there one thing in your career that you would have done differently? You said you've been what doing this for half a decade. Am I right? Is that what you said?
About that,
Almost a
yeah.
decade.
In this new run, yeah.
Mm. What was the one thing that in your career you would have done different?
Hmm. I'd say no. I don't think there's one thing I would have done different because all the things that I have learned throughout my entire career, whether they've been failures or somewhat successful, they've shaped me and molded me into who I am today. And through all the failures, through all of the concepts, I didn't stray away from who I was. Um, and it helped me develop as a person, just a general human being, and understand people a lot better because, you know, I just I like to contribute and take whatever I can from people in a sense where I want you to to show me your wealth of knowledge. I want you to share your experiences with me. I want you to genuinely show me who you are as a human being so that I can learn from it and better myself as a human being, which I think a lot of people should do. And I really took that and I applied that philosophy to pro wrestling. And now, as I sit here in the almost ending stages of my career, because I know at some point it's definitely going to close. I look back on a lot of things and it's like, yeah, I get a lot of trolls, I get a lot of hate, but at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of these people change who they are. I've seen a lot of these people sell out for money. I've seen a lot of these people just pretend like people are okay when they are not. I've seen so much just overall nasty shit going on, and I didn't buy into any of it. I still try to better the business, and people knock whatever they want to knock. They can't take my hustle, they can't take my loyalty, and they cannot take my respect for the business. Shout out Johnson. We love you.
Well, I want to ask you, when you talk about all these stories, how did it start? When did you figure you wanted to be involved in wrestling?
Well, I had watched it for a while previous. Certain federations, like, uh, fucking, I hate to say it, they are assholes and complete dicks. WOR, um, SCW, which is near and dear to my heart, Reed Kingston. And after, I can't remember what match it was, but it was on Ignite. I'm not Ignite, Eternity. I main evented the first Ignite pay per view, by the way. But on Eternity, there was some match that he was in, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm doing this shit. And it was just fun to do. And shortly after that worked, started working my way in the business as a young man. Got opportunities commentating and working as an executive leader in ECW, and then my career really picked up in the 2020s. And yeah, that was that.
Mm, I got into it from, you might know this name. You have to. You've been doing this for however long you said.
Yeah,
Isaac Mockery. I started off at Cleans.
I remember Merc. Yeah, I remember Merc. I think I had a match with him in that old OPRW training gym, because it was like I was talking shit because I was trying to, get in big. I was like, yeah, I can fucking beat you. You're nothing but a little computer tweaker, because I was just messing around with my controller and shit. And I had an iPhone 8, and I was just swinging that bitch, and he crushed me 5-0.
Oh
But
no.
it was fun. He was one of the first experiences that I had in training. I've had the pleasure of working with many different people, like some of my idols, even like Alex Swan, and Amari Bridger, and it was it was quite fun. It was quite fun working with Merc, because that definitely humbled me a little bit, which I definitely needed early on in my career.
Well, I wanted to ask you about, as you said you want to start. I gotta go back to this. You said you want to like kind of start doing stuff with Roblox sports. Are you
Indeed.
gonna? You think you're gonna get into? It's a place. It's called ESPN X Roblox.
Definitely open to it. I've had a couple of talks recently, so it should be interesting to see where that goes.
Mm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out more of Chris Cable's work, like I said, you can go check out ATM Entertainment. I Yeah, that's is anything
Yeah.
else you want to say before we go?
at ATM on Roblox on X. You can follow me at @the_Chris Cable on X. Keep an eye out because I not confirming any rumors, but something within the next couple of weeks is coming.
Well, ladies, Chris Cable, thank you for being on the show, and everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day or night. I don't know when this is gonna come out, but yeah, goodbye, everyone.